Okay, right. Questions for Jamie. So this is all from the Into the Mind podcast, and there's so many, so forgive me if this takes...
Let's see what we're working with.
What we're working with here, Jamie. The amount of these questions, they're about sex. It's like unreal. Man. Okay. What was the most difficult part in playing your role in Outlander, Blood of My Blood? And that's from Meheli CH.
The most difficult part, I think, is dealing with the Scottish weather. Like the conditions you have to work with sometimes are just so difficult. Like you'll be filming in hailstones with wind and it also being cold, and it's you just want to be anywhere else at that time. But yeah, you just gotta soldier up and just get on with it because it's not going to film itself.
And also sometimes the most harsh environments, at least from what I've found in filming and photography, the most harsh environments look the best, but they're just the most difficult to be in.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's why, like, I spoke to a guy called Corey Richards, who's he's like a famous photographer from LA. You probably wouldn't have crossed paths with him. And he has this thing about embracing discomfort. He says if you embrace discomfort of these scenarios and settings and weather and you end up getting the best product out of it. And I think he's absolutely right. Okay, next up is... Right, we can't do that one.
It's like that South Park episode when he's going through like the chat roulette thing, and he's like, guy with a wiener, guy with a wiener, guy with a wiener. Oh, he's got his wiener.
Have you read the Outlander or just the Outlander books, says Melissa Parsons?
No, I have not read the Outlander books. I mean, I've watched, well, they're quite dense, first of all. They're quite big, but I have watched all the series, but no, I haven't read the books. I haven't got around to that yet. My reasoning is that I don't want to know more than my character would know.
Oh, that's good reason.
Yeah.
That's pretty good
because
reason.
I watched the series a while ago and I don't remember too much from it. Like, I know the general story and stuff like that, but, I watched it because I enjoyed the show, not to like, pick up on any mannerisms or acting traits and stuff, which I've seen so many people say, been like, oh, you must have studied, Sam's mannerisms. I'm like, I didn't study shit. Like, I swear to God, I've said this so many times in interviews and things. Like, I didn't. We are just very similar people. But no matter how many times you say that, people will be like, yeah, no, he said that he's studied the mannerisms, and I'm like, oh, whatever. But maybe the books will be in the future. We'll see.
Yeah. Good. When Christ, mate, some of these are Amber O.L. Connolly says best places in Scotland when traveling.
Oh, the best places in Scotland while traveling. Well, let's see. We've talked about a couple of them, which I haven't actually been, but like Harrison Lewis, apparently very nice. Places that I've been though. I mean, whenever my friends say they come to Scotland, I say to them, right, have a few days. You can do a good amount in 4 days, right? Have a base somewhere for a couple of days. So say if you're staying in Glasgow, right, you get the train over to Edinburgh for the day and you do Edinburgh stuff for the day. You see all the lovely things. I love Edinburgh, for that. It's a very picturesque place, especially from a geography point of view, because I love geography, like natural geography, like Arthur's Seat and everything. It's just so cool. So you spend the day there and then you have your night out in Glasgow, because I feel like the nights out are
dirty night out
way better in Glasgow than they are in Edinburgh, and the people are nicer, I think. Glasgow's motto is people make Glasgow, and they definitely do. And then once you've done those two, I mean, going up to Inverness is always cool. If you rent a car, you can drive up there, you see some lovely stuff. Spend a day in Inverness or so, and then you can go even more north than that, see some of the, in Glencoe, for instance, Fort William, that kind of area.
Hebrides as well. Skye.
Yeah. Gosh, yeah. There's so many. Maybe you need more than 4 days.
Yeah. Well, that's the issue, isn't it? It's like there's always going to be, even for people that live here, there's always so much to explore. It's incredible. Okay, Taylor_Ann95 says, "What's your favorite scene you've shot on?" And she uses the analogy bomb, which we're not allowed to use anymore. You can't say bomb.
Yeah, favorite scenes. Yeah, I've said this before, but yeah, I think the last one in episode 6, I think was just really, really nice. And again, anyone where you're working with a baby, it's so nice because you don't have to act.
It's natural.
Like, you just don't have to. Like, it just grounds you in the scene, and it's just so sweet. And then if you're feeling emotional, you just like look at a baby just lying there. You see its little eyes. You're just, it's a tearjerker.
That's something actually. Did you find it hard to cry on command?
My character doesn't really. I mean, I personally don't. I think it's fine, but Brian doesn't. He gets emotional a couple of times. And in that scene as well, I think we did a take where I was crying, but they used a different take. I don't think they want to see Brian cry, although I have tried. No, I generally don't, because if I feel like the goal of a scene isn't to cry, right? A lot of actors will be like, oh, well, I have to cry here because it says cry. But if you're just, that's very superficial. If it doesn't mean anything, like, you can see crocodile tears from a mile away. You know what I mean? And there's ways to get around that as well. Like, people like put shit in their eye to make it look like they're crying or whatever. I've never used that. I've always thought that the emotion, the reason why you would be crying is way more important. And some takes, tears don't come, and sometimes they do, but it still is just as powerful, even if you're not crying. Like, if you can feel what that person's feeling, then that's all. That's enough for the most part.
What is the stuff they put in their eyes?
It's called a tear stick. So it's almost like, Vicks Vapor Rub.
Yeah.
So imagine putting that like on your eyes, and then they just will like,
oh my God.
It makes it all watery.
On that note, have you tried smelling salts?
Yeah, I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
I was just looking at them.
Why do you have smelling salts? Is it just to wake you up like heavy in case you're...
It's such a long story. I got them, and then who was it? Did you watch rugby?
Uh-huh.
It's Jamie Batty, who's one of the like big boys,
Yeah.
the really big boys, and I've been pals with him for a while. And we did it, and I was like, Jamie, be careful, because these are really strong smelling salts. He was like, and he did them, and he just started crying. It was so bad. It's just like, oh my God.
Oh man.
Okay, so there's a lot about the books here. Okay, Bonnie Tute says, if you lived back then, what do you think you would miss most about life today?
Oh, my family.
That's a biggie.
What would I miss? I think first of all, it would be a blessing and a curse. Like, I would miss not being able to get into contact with people like immediately because of a phone. But in the same vein, it would also be really nice not to have a phone and to have to make an effort to see people. So to write them a letter, or to travel to the next village on your horse to go and see them, you'd actually miss people, and you'd have things to talk about all the time when you're catching up, because you hadn't just been texting, So I think, I would miss that, but at the same time be kind of grateful for it.
Yeah, phones are a blessing and a curse, for sure.
Certainly.
The amount of sex questions. _cookie says, what do you think of Outlander the original? Which character do you like most from Blood of My Blood?
I loved the original one. I think it was really cool. I think they did a great job over the course of 7 seasons so far, and that show has been in these guys' lives for, I think Sam, for him, like, it's been 11 or 12 years now.
Oh my God.
It's like a significant chunk of his life, his career, and for him to still love what he does and not get jaded by it, because it'd be so easy just to see it as a job and you just pitch up and you don't put an effort in anymore. But it doesn't seem to be the case, with the majority of those guys. So I love how much they still love what they do. And then my favorite character from Blood of My Blood, it's got to be Marta, Brian's cousin and best friend, Rory Alexander, who plays Marta.
I followed him, and
he's brilliant. He's such a lovely guy. He's such a great conversationalist. He would actually be great to have on. Like, you'd have some great conversation with him. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll need to tag. I did follow him because I think he's a character for sure. How did you learn to match Sam Hewing's voice so well? Says Ames Teach.
Well, this is the thing. It's like I didn't. It's just casting just knew what they were doing.
And Scottish accent,
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
And he's from Dumfries, so different from Glasgow. But I mean, he went to RCS, up here. So it's definitely not as strong. But yeah, I think we just speak similar, in life. And when we first met, I'd been told all the time that we'd been very similar, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And I met him, and after we got talking for like 5 minutes, I was like, shit, we are actually kind of similar.
We're the same.
Not even just, it wasn't so much like the way that we looked or talked or anything, but just like personality wise and things like that. We just had a lot of crossover in that. And I was only going to meet for like a 15-20 minute coffee or something. We ended up chatting for like an hour or something, and just shooting the shit, So yeah, we're quite similar in that respect anyway. So like I said, I haven't done anything to do mannerisms or speech patterns or whatever, but it's casting knew what they were doing.
Good. Okay. Give us more than this isn't a question, but give us more than 3 seasons, please, says Destinia SH. Is there anything more than
if we get renewed for a 3rd season, that would be fantastic. I think that's the plan. I mean, obviously we're always hoping for another one, so they're always planning for it, but we don't know how 2nd season is going to be responded to. But if it's anything to go by, I think we're going to be here for a while.
Good
Fingers crossed.
Ari Safakas. I'm so sorry about these pronunciations. Oh, this is interesting. Will you audition for the next James Bond?
I fucking hope so. It'd be great. With the contracts and stuff, what you're able to do is quite limited. And with something like James Bond, like that's another one which you'd be, tied up for another 10 years or so, kind of doing that. So if it would work contractually, I'm not sure, but I would even just love to be in the room, to be in consideration, just to even put a tape down to read for it, because then you can say that you read for it. And, I think it's just like so iconic and so cool that I don't know who would say no to that.
Have you seen all the tapes of other actors that have gone for James Bond? Like Henry Cavill is one of them. It's like, it's actually really cool to see they're different, because they're all saying the same thing. It's the name's Bond, James Bond. But
well, this is what I was talking about, the chemistry reads, right? It's like it's the exact same words, but it's the essence of the person, with what they're bringing to it. And those ones in particular are so good.
Yeah. It's just so interesting to see the exact same thing said in an entirely different way.
Have you seen the ones for Batman?
No.
They're really good. So there's screen tests with Christian Bale, Cillian Murphy, and Matthew Bomer, I think. Again, doing the same scenes, and they do like a proper screen test, so like they're in costume and things like that. And it is really cool to see what is what they kind of do differently.
Yeah.
And I remember reading that they loved Cillian Murphy so much, but he just wasn't right for
the Batman.
That was Christian Bale, but they brought him in for Scarecrow, and he was the bad guy in the first one. And he's done it right for himself.
Cillian Murphy,
he's brilliant, eh?
Oh my god,
so good.
Yeah, his performances. It's his eye. I get lost in his eyes.
Always thinking.
Okay, there's actually a lot about James Bond here, but we'll skip a couple.
Yeah.
There's physical training. We've kind of covered that. Okay, Courtney Jane Baisley says, how has life changed since the show premiered in August?
How has life changed? In some ways, it's changed a lot, and then in other respects, it hasn't that much. I think, I still go to work most days. That's not changed. There's a whole new online presence in things, which has definitely changed, because didn't have that, when the show came out 2.5 months ago. And that's cool to see that people responding to it and, liking it. It's nice to have It's nice to be able to go to the supermarket and not, like if you see something that you like, not have to worry about how much it is. That's such a privilege. I think that's like, because I had never been financially secure really up until this job. Like I said, when I was living in LA, it was every month be like, all right, how are we going to make rent and things? And I didn't like asking people for money, parents or friends or whatever, but I was always very like, I can make this work. So when I got my first paycheck and was able to go to the supermarket and not have to like think about how much I was spending, not that I was like being frivolous, I don't really like frivolous spending at all, but that's when I realized I was quite financially secure, was that I could go to the supermarket and I could buy what I wanted just because I liked it. And that was such a nice, I was like, this is all I want. Like, like I can buy organic beef and organic eggs and not, feel like, oh, I can't buy anything else for the rest of the week. Yeah. How else has life changed? Oh yeah. And apart from like getting recognized and things like that. So obviously, I have to make sure that I'm mostly behaved when I'm on a night out. Don't drink too much.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
One for me, I suppose off the back of that, what has been the darkest time?
The darkest time. I think some of the dark times happen when you kind of get lost in an online hole and you start reading one comment and then you're like, oh, I'll read another one, and you like start deep diving into like what people are saying because you want to see if the people like the show or not. And the internet's a wonderful but also a horrible place at times, and there's certain things which I wish I hadn't seen online about certain people and myself, and the fact that people had to feel the need to comment this, like take time out of their day to write a page essay on why they think this show is the worst thing in the world. And those are, I'm quite thick-skinned, and I know this is like the vast majority, but it just makes me feel sorry for the people who feel like they have to type that and that people want to read that and hear that, because nobody does. So I feel like there's been a couple of times where I've really got lost in a couple of rabbit holes online, and you kind of come out the end of it after being on your phone for like an hour straight and like, oh, I feel pretty shit about myself, and then I go a walk and shrug it off.
Yeah. Don't read the comments.
Don't read the comments.
If you want any advice, just don't read them, because
I've gotten better at that now.
Just honestly, because the minority will shout the loudest.
Exactly.
And it's but also our brains are hardwired to be attracted to the negative thing. Like if you can imagine, as a caveman, there's like a lion outside the tent, and so you're going to be anxious about it because a fucking lion outside the tent. But if you say it's going to be a sunny day tomorrow, you're not going to be anxious about it. And newspaper articles actually dine out on this because everything's negative, because they understand that gets clicks. So your brain will instantly go to the one thing that's horrible, and it's just not worth reading them. Yeah,
and I've definitely found that. Like you actively search for negative things. Like sometimes.
Like what? Yeah, you search your own name up, and you're like, well, who's got something bad to say?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So what future projects are in store for you?
There's a couple in the works just now. If they pan out, which I'll get on to as soon as we stop filming. We finished filming at Christmas time, so I'll have a few months of doing nothing until hopefully we go again. If we do go again for season 3, unfortunately I can't talk about them. But there's some things in the works.
Things in the pipeline.
Are very exciting.
Good. Okay, there's a couple. I'm going to merge these because there are a couple, and I'm also wondering this. How do you get your hair so luscious?
A great hair and makeup team. I never was a hair guy, but like seeing the amount of like hair questions and things and that people would say. I started an interview like with the press like a couple of months ago, and she's like, okay, the first question I have to ask you is, what do you do for your hair? And I was like, well, I actually have a little routine now, like I shampoo and I condition it, but then I've got like this oil that I put in it, like it's like rosemary hip oil or something. Is that what it is? It's by this brand called what's it called?
Rosemary. It's rosemary oil, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's I'm blanking on the brand. It's really annoying. Oh, it'll come back to me. Where they have this like lovely oil and they come in like little pellets,
Right.
and you squeeze it and then the pellets are dissolvable, so like you just throw them in the toilet and go away. And then I put in this stuff, it's called like milk hair serum,
Right.
by this brand, small one in LA called Rose, ROZ, and that stuff not only smells incredible but like just makes your hair like lovely and just and yeah, so you put all those together with a great person who knows what you're doing with your hair, and yeah, good hair days for life.
Amazing. Have you ever tried this is for guys that are going bald, but also it's really good for like thickening up hair, is minoxidil.
No, I haven't.
So minoxidil essentially just pushes the blood to your scalp. So guys that are losing their hair, it's because there's not enough blood going on, and also testosterone. But you can use minoxidil to prevent it, but it also makes your hair thicker. But you need to use it every day, which is annoying because you need to spray it on. But it really helps. You can see thickening up your hair. It's really good.
Cool.
Okay, so next up we've got. They're not really questions. Crazy Moza, I don't really understand this one, but maybe you do. Crazy _Moza says, can he come to the LandCon 8 next year in Paris?
Oh yeah, so that's one of the big Outlander conventions.
Right. Okay.
And I don't know if I can say, but just stay tuned on that one.
Maybe we'll leave it. Maybe. Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Last batch. Wow. Okay. I'm trying not to get cancelled here with some of these questions. Auditioning process, we've kind of done that. Okay, Taylor _Ann 95 says, what's the weirdest food you've ever ate?
The weirdest food. I had a scorpion on a stick when I was in Hong Kong one time.
Class.
Yeah, crunchy, not much taste. But I could say I've eaten a scorpion.
Nice. Okay. There's also same person, different question. What's the weirdest date you've ever been on?
No, weirdest date. Oh gosh.
You must have some clangers. Come on.
Yeah. Oh man. Thankfully I've not been on too many bad dates. There was a couple when I was in LA, but I dated this. I went out on one date with this girl, and we met online, and she was an actor. So I was like, okay, cool. We'll have something in common. She would not stop talking about acting the entire night. And I would give her the benefit of the doubt, right? I was like, okay, cool, right? It's something that we can bond over to start with, but like, let's,
branch out here.
Digress on something else. And so I was just coming up with like the most obscure things I could talk about, just far away from acting as possible. And she would still find some way to bring it back to acting. And I was like, fuck, man, like what? It's like, because it's just, some people love talking about that, but I just, I really, it's fine talking for a wee bit, but then
it's when your job as well. It's
exactly.
Come on.
Can you imagine like two dentists going out and being like, so what's your favorite tooth? What's your second favorite tooth? Do you have a favorite toothbrush? Yeah, I like to hold it in my left hand sometimes. Like, fucking hell, yeah, it's the exact same as that. So yeah, that was a weird one. And then I went on like a brunch date one time, and I get totally catfished. She looked nothing like her profile, and I was just like, oh. And to be fair, I didn't do great. She ordered food. Actually, now I'm thinking about this. I didn't. This is bad on me, but she catfished me. But so we were getting food, and waiter comes up and I was you can go first, ladies first. So she's like, okay, I'll have the French toast and I'll get bacon on the side. And then he was like, for you? I was like, I'll just have a black coffee, please.
I want out of here.
And she was like, you're not getting food? I was like, no.
I'm really not feeling it.
But she looked so different to her picture.
Yeah.
I was like, well, you've done this to yourself. You know what I mean? So like, I'm just going to, and I'm not going to just try and get away. I'm going to enjoy my coffee and you can enjoy your French toast with added bacon.
Yeah, have a good time.
But like,
it's not going any further.
Yeah, and she was like, I had such a great time after. Can we see each other again? And I was like, I don't think so.
I finished my coffee now.
I'm going to be away that weekend.
That's the thing with social media, especially with online dating. Like, you need to be honest. If you want it to work, you need to be honest. And if you're putting up a photo that you've doctored and photoshopped and you slendered yourself or whatever you do.
What do you expect, man?
Yeah.
People are gonna see you in real life at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So yeah.
It's yeah.
Some people.
I know. Francis Cohern / says, what's been the most unexpected or memorable moment for you while filming?
Oh, the most unexpected or memorable. That's a good one as well. Again, I mean, I know I keep talking about it, but like unexpected, like the last scene in 6, I didn't think that was gonna hit me as hard personally, because I think we both like started crying after we finished that. So I didn't expect that, how emotional that was gonna feel. Yeah, well, actually, we just filmed something in season 2, which was highly emotional, and I expected it to be like that, but then after, I just completely broke down. I gave who I was working with, I don't want to say because it's spoilers, but I gave who I was working with like this massive, I was going to say cuddle, but a hug, and I was just on their chest, and I was getting really weepy, and I was like, fucking hell, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
So it was really memorable. And yeah, when you're working with like such good people like that, and they're giving you, because one camera most of the time, right? And it's like your coverage and it's my coverage, or vice versa. They give you everything when it's not, the camera's not on them. Some actors don't do that. They just say their lines and, you have nothing to work off. But everyone on this show is so good and being so generous with their acting. That's led to all these lovely moments where you're like, oh wow, I didn't think this was going to be as emotional as it was. So yeah, there's been plenty of those, I think, dotted around.
Good. That's a good answer. Lots about James Bond. There's more about... okay, we'll do the last couple now. Yannick Teogo says...
You're killing it with these names, man.
No, man. What was the most challenging part about playing Brian Fraser?
The most challenging part was having to, I think, follow the script sometimes. Because what I mean by that is Brian is so, he's a pragmatist, and he's also he doesn't like violence so much, and that's not his first port of call, he'd rather ask questions first and then punch someone. Whereas there's been some things sometimes during season 1 where I'm like, if someone spoke to me like that, I'd just lamp them. Like I would just take my dirk out, like our knife, and just stab them. But the amount of restraint that I've had to be like, and try and rationalize in my head, like why would I not, just punch him here, or grab him by the throat, or do something else that the script doesn't say. I think that's been the hardest part. And there are reasons for that, as the story goes, like Brian doesn't want to do anything that is going to put other people in danger. So by, doing what he would really want to do, does end up putting people in danger if he did that. So that's kind of how I got around it. But the relationship he has with his father, like, he's literally an abused kid and has been abused for all his life. I'm like, God, I would just push this guy down the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, like, whoops, like, sorry. So I think, that was probably the hardest thing.
Are you allowed to go off script?
Yeah, we do. Most of the time we have a script supervisor on set. So she'll be, who's fantastic at her job. She's so good at keeping us right. And then we sometimes will change the odd word and things, and, she'll pick us up for it. But sometimes we'll improvise. Like there's a couple of times that I improvised during season 1 with some words, and they kept it in, So I think as long as I've got a take or 2 takes where you're saying all the words on the paper,
yes,
then I think at least I give myself the freedom to, if something comes out, then keep it in. Yeah. Like in episode 4, I think, when Brian and Julia are going on the wee mission to Castle Leoch, and Julia says to Brian, my feet are aching, and Brian says, oh, your feet. That wasn't scripted. I just found it funny that, she was complaining about her feet when it was like we're meant to be there because our arms got a rash. And I'm like, oh, your feet? Oh, well, what about your rash?
Yeah.
And I didn't even think about it at the time. It just kind of came out.
Yeah.
And then they kept it, you know. So those little things are quite fun when you see them that they've kept in.
Mm-hmm.
Or there was one where I was with my horse in episode 7, maybe. And I've just been like berated by my dad and by Lovett. And he walks away. And then the camera's on me. And this only happened one take, and it was a take that they used. The horse where I was next to comes in and literally like noses me like that, like, hey man, it's okay. He only did that in one take, and then I kind of had this moment with the horse and looked up and like, right, go time, and then stormed off. And then they kept that.
Yeah.
And that was so cool, you know. So it's like working with animals, working with babies. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So they give you something, and as long as you're present and react to it, then you get these lovely moments like that, which, you know, they keep in.
So did you know how to horse ride?
No, not before this.
You had to learn for this.
But I love horses. They're so cool.
Yeah, but pretty scary. Like
They're massive. They're so big.
Yeah. My mum, you might know this, you might not, but you know the ball and socket joint that's in your big toe?
Uh-huh.
A horse stood in that and crushed it.
Oh.
Like as the bone shattered.
Holy shit.
And she didn't, because adrenaline, you don't know. But it wasn't like the horse did it. It just stood in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Now that's how scary. Like to me, horses are beautiful beasts. Mm-hmm. But their size is just terrifying.
Big,
it's just terrifying. So you're not scared at all?
There's been times where like, not during set, but like practice, I almost fell off one time because we were going like down this river, and instead when we went down the river, like it's a little valley, right? So it's like kind of like that. And then the river's here. And the first time we went over it, he could have stepped down and then went up, and I was prepared for it. And I was like, cool. When we were coming back, he fucking just jumped over. And then, so I was just chilling, waiting for him just to, you know, sitting back because he was going to go down.
Yeah.
And then he just goes, whoo, jumps. And I was like, fuck, like literally hanging off the side, like, ah. And so I was a wee bit scared there.
Yeah.
And the guys who, on the horses, they're just like the coolest dudes ever. They're just, you know, not
phased by it.
They're not phased. They're like,
yeah.
You all right, mate? And I'm like, balls have shot up into the sand.
All right, okay. Right, last one, and then we'll get off these questions. So, this is a bit more tame. Char__27 says, what would be your dream girl? Also, what was your favorite part about filming Bomb? Let's just strip out the favorite part because we've kind of covered that. What would be your dream girl?
my dream girl. Oh man. Gosh. When I was younger, I used to have this massive crush on Natalie Portman.
Wow, yeah.
She was probably Natalie Portman was my sexual awakening.
A lot of guys' sexual awakenings.
Yeah. When I saw her in it's probably the Phantom Menace, and then in episode 2, Clone Wars, I was like, and that must have definitely coincided with puberty. I think I was like, wow, she's pretty perfect. And I think now, 20 years on, whoever it is, I would probably still say that she's pretty damn perfect.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's aged amazingly well. Well.
Also, she's so talented as well.
Incredible actress.
Yeah.
Can you say actress?
I say both. I think like it depends where you are. Like, so other people say actor because, you know, gender preferences, whatever, and some people say actress, but they're just like, well, all actors are the same, whatever. So I normally just cover my bases and say actors, actresses.
Yeah. Did you see what was her name? So there's the Wolf of Wall Street, Margot Robbie, who's just, it's incredible. Who was your? Do you have? I'm trying to figure out a way to ask this because you're probably not allowed to say. Do you have like a Hollywood crush?
I don't know. Apart from Natalie Portman, I don't know actually.
So I suppose it's a risk for you because you might actually work.
Well, that's the thing. I'm hesitant to say because there's a couple of people who I find very attractive and they're very, very talented. I think talent is probably one of the most attractive things. For me, you know, anyone can look good with makeup and things like that, but I really find someone who's very talented and very kind as well, to be very, very attractive. I think that's just lovely, you know, a good human. And there's plenty of those in Hollywood and such, but yeah, I'm hesitant to name names just in case. You know,
Yeah.
my next job is like, hey,
Heard you fancy this person.
yeah. So look who we've got for you.
If you guys enjoyed that clip, please do me a huge favor before you go and head over to our Into the Mind podcast official page where we have the raw, uncut Into the Mind podcast, and hit that subscribe button. And the more subscribers we get, the more incredible guests we can get on the show. I really appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you so much. And I'll see you all real soon.